this is Tim W. Leathertachi, 1996, and, well, you honestly thought I left Godzilla effects alone after Godzilla vs. Destroyer. You didn't think I was going to give up on the franchise again, did you? Well, nope. Welcome, everybody, to the first episode of Season 3, and here, well, obviously, you know, by the poster already shown here, it's Godzilla 2000 from the year 1999. Now, I just got done watching this movie tonight, and oh my god, I'm gonna say this now, this Godzilla movie was, wow. Toho brought the big guy back in a big way. I mean, you talk about ferocious return or ferocious arrival or whatever you want to call it. This movie really pulled it off. I mean, seriously, this movie, this used to be my number one favorite movie, but now this is chalked down to my number 4 on my list of top 7 Godzilla films. And just from this poster alone, literally, I love his design. His design is so amazing, and this is exactly how he looks in the movie, which I will, when the screenshots start coming up here. Just from the poster to start out with, his design is super good, and he is played by Tsutomu Kitagawa, and I love his performance as the title character here, and I'll explain why again when the screenshots start coming up. I'm just gonna say it. Like I said, I'm giving my recommendation already for this movie. Any Godzilla fan needs to watch this movie because they put so much time and effort into this. They made sure Godzilla. They made sure he returned. They made sure that Godzilla's, he's back. Sorry about that. That's my chair squeaking. Any Godzilla fan definitely needs to see this movie. I'm giving my recommendation like right here, right now. Like I said, oh man, this movie just, wow. This was just such an awesome movie. I mean, down to the I know I don't talk about, and also, one thing I gotta mention, I know I never talked about trailers on this series. Well, here we go. But before I get to this screenshot, the trailer for this, that's on the DVD release, not the Blu-ray, the regular DVD release, that I'm sure a lot of you have, any Godzilla fan out there. The trailer, like, it's the American trailer, and when the narrator of the trailer says winner takes all in this movie, they really mean it. Now, onto the good stuff, all the great screenshots. Now, starting here, this is literally at the very start of the movie. You have Godzilla at night, and he destroys this tunnel and what looks like half a bridge, really, and he starts chasing after the main human characters after literally one of the two main female human characters pisses him off by flashing a camera in his eyes. Oh my god. But this brings me to my first effects con with this movie. When Godzilla, sorry about that. Like I said, when one of the main human female characters pisses Godzilla off, he roars. He has a great roar. His new roar for this is amazing. But when he roars at the three main human characters, the windshield explodes, and in all perfect honesty, it was done with CG, and it could have been so much better. I gotta say, I was not a fan of the exploding windshield. It looked really, really weird. Like, it looked like it just too conveniently misses the humans. But other than that, this opening scene is amazing, and literally, this is the first. the first 12 and a half minutes of this movie, this movie makes you think that, oh, Godzilla's solo. Because in his debut film in 1954, he was solo, obviously, and then in 1984 he was solo. That was the start of the Heisei era. Then here we are in the Millennium era, and this is the first movie of the Millennium era here. Well, a lot of you Godzilla fans know that as well as I do. And the first 12 and a half minutes of this movie, it makes you think, oh, he's by himself. But no, he's not. And I'll get to why when that screenshot comes up. Now, like I was saying, he has a great design, and I really do love the guy who, what was the guy's name that played him? Mr. Kitagawa. I love how he played Godzilla. Ooh, yeah, he gives Godzilla a big personality in this movie. And this is during, he gives sorry, I'm getting all mixed up and off topic. Sorry about that, folks. Let me finish the personality before I talk about this bit of awesomeness right here. Kitagawa really gives Godzilla a big personality. He gives him a lot of, there's a lot of character build with Godzilla in this movie, which is really good. And like I said, the first 12 minutes and 36 seconds, I'm not kidding, yes, I've timed it. Literally, it's like the same old stuff, right? Godzilla rampaging through the city. But it's done so amazingly. I mean, seriously, just this shot right here is so cool. Like, you have, in the foreground, you've got the a whole actual crowd of people running away down this dark street with fire trucks rolling in. And like it looks like a police car off to the left, and then you got Godzilla in the background, with the smoke and fire behind him, and it's all lit. Oh my god, it's just it was such a great shot. And then they do this awesome close up of him before he starts walking away, and the whole destruction stuff with him in it, and it's a nice build up to his appearance actually, because they show little glimpses of him destroying stuff here and there. And they showed his face, all of his face, but it was a really quick shot, maybe about 2 seconds, and then part of his teeth, and then some little bit of him in flashes of electrical electricity explosions. It's like this slow build up to him destroying the town. But, oh my god, and just, this whole opening scene was so perfect. And I compare this to Godzilla vs. Destroyer, the opening to that movie, because they both show Godzilla destroying the city in such a great, amazingly executed way. I mean, seriously, just, Toho just brought Godzilla back. And one thing I gotta ask is, I've heard and read that this movie is supposedly, and I'm doing air quotes as I'm saying that, supposedly a sequel to the OG 1954 film. How? No, seriously, how? Because there's not one scene or one line out of this entire movie that says that this is the second Godzilla since 1954. There's nothing in this movie that says that. So how is this a sequel to that movie? Because literally the movie I don't mean to talk about. I try not to talk about the human characters so much, but for this I have to, because I don't know how. Literally the start of the movie is the human characters looking for Godzilla, and they're talking about how they would know with their equipment when Godzilla's around. So how is this a sequel to 1954 again? Yeah, I'm sorry. I just had to talk about that, because I don't know how. I don't. That little bit of info makes no sense when there's no scene or no line in this movie that remotely even says that this is a direct sequel to the very first Godzilla film. ignoring everything that happened in the Heisei era. So yeah, I just had to throw that out there. And here we go. There's this. I mean, I know at this point, um, the military shooting at giant monsters, you can't kill them. But having the scenes with the military, it's a great way to show off new special effects with each film. And this movie, I'm sorry, like, this movie is no exception, really. Sorry about that, folks. Yeah, this movie's no exception. And there's this really great scene with the army shootout. It's awesome. It's a really great. It's like seeing God's. I don't know. It felt very nostalgic. It's like a nostalgia moment, you know, watching all these every Godzilla movie leading up to here, and it's like, oh my god, you know, when the military comes out, it is awesome. And they have this weapon. Oh my god, Godzilla gets messed up in this movie because they have this armor-piercing missile, and that the military develops, and they shoot a bunch of them at him, and you literally see pieces of Godzilla's skin come flying off. I mean, literally, you see radioactive lizard scales littering the ground or littering the water or something, the river between him and the military. Godzilla gets all sorts of messed up in this movie, in this scene. Sorry about that, folks. That is... Oh, I'm sorry. That's my dad. Sorry about that, folks. Yeah. But Godzilla doesn't care, man. He just keeps going forward, not giving a shit about the military shooting at him. It is insane. Oh, and then you have this scene right here. This right here, okay. Remember when I said earlier that the first 12 minutes of this movie, you're looking at this thinking, oh, Godzilla's by himself. He's by himself again. No, he's not. There's this thing with the humans. There's this other plot with the humans where they have this... They uncover this meteor, and the meteor starts flying about halfway into the movie. They lift it up out of the ocean, but then it ends up lifting itself up after light touches it, so I guess the ship runs on solar power, I guess, by the way it's explained. So you have this solar-powered 60 million year old alien ship. I'm not kidding, they literally say that this creature is between 60 to 70 million years old. Oh, did I say creature? Oh, I'm sorry, I gave that little bit away, didn't I? Deal with it. Yes, there is an alien, well, hence the flying rock, the ship. And literally, the ship and Godzilla have a shootout. They shoot at each other as soon as it comes across Godzilla. It basically interrupts the military. Like, this flying rock just passes over everybody and all the humans and focuses on Godzilla so much. It literally, this alien becomes obsessed with him, practically. Like, they explain, and the humans say, why does it have such an interest in Godzilla? So... like, why does it have such a big interest in him for? And it's really weird, but Godzilla, his atomic breath, it's orange and white in this movie. It is so cool. It's like this nice build-up to when he shoots. It is so awesome when he does it. Like, the alien ship prepares, like, charging this laser that it shoots out of a hole at the front of the ship. And it's charging the laser up, and Godzilla slowly charges himself up, like this thing of fire just glows in his mouth, and his back plates slowly start glowing in the intensity of the glow. Oh my god, and then he finally just lets it all out, and the alien ship shoots right back at him. Oh my god, it's insane. The shootout, like, Godzilla has a shootout with the military and the ship. But both scenes are cool. You know, you can't really pick a favorite, but and this was really, now we're at the point in Godzilla where it's like CGI means everything. I mean, yes, in the Heisei era we have discussed that. Yes, they used CGI, but in this movie the CGI has greatly improved with Godzilla's atomic breath. It doesn't look like not even remotely looks like typical 90s CG. I mean, yes, this movie came out in 1999, but the CGI is so much better for his Atomic Breath. And here we, this is actually, it's so weird that the screenshots that I got, the Atomic Breath came before this, because this is so weird that it was ordered this way, because this screenshot is supposed to be before the Atomic Breath. This is when the alien ship first comes up to Godzilla, and actually, with Godzilla, this brings me to my next effects con with him. When the alien ship approaches him and starts scanning Godzilla, when Godzilla's standing in the river, it looks like he's not exactly like placed in the water. It looks like he is like, was he placed in the water with CG? I don't know, it just looks really weird with him in the water. It doesn't look like he's actually in the water. It looks like he was placed in there with CGI. But anyways, and he just stares at the ship, and then the ship shoots at him, and Godzilla shoots right back at it. Like, Godzilla literally, he acts in self-defense in this movie. Like, if any of you fans watch it or watch it again, or any new people who want to get introduced to Godzilla, definitely, if you have not watched them, watch the ones that I say my top 7, because those I would recommend to anybody. So, I'm sorry, where was I going with that? Oh, yeah, when you watch this movie, Godzilla literally reacts in self-defense. When the military shoots at him, he attacks back, and when the alien ship shoots at him, he shoots back. So, like I said, they do some character building with him in this movie, and they really give him this sort of animalistic kind of personality. I mean, he had personality in the Heisei era, but this movie now heightens that a little bit. And it's just so... And we get a close-up right here of the suit, of the Godzilla suit, and the backplates, I love the design of the backplates. They're all nice, they're all jagged. I love the jagged design. And I love the skin detail on the Godzilla suit, and especially his teeth. I love how he has fangs coming out of his teeth. You got the fangs, you have this really angry, pissed off look, and then you have the two different types of scales on his body. Like, the whole top half is these really rough, bumpy scales, and then his neck has these kind of more smoother dragon scales. I mean, seriously, they just did such a great job with this movie as a whole. And here's the ship. Okay, I'm sorry I didn't get a shot of it when it was covered in rocks, when it was covered in 60 million year old rock. Sorry I didn't get a shot of that. But there's a point where Godzilla blasts off the top half where the hole is and exposes that. And then when the sun hits the ship again after it becomes motionless for a while, and then the military ties it down with really thick metal wires, but, you know, since this is a Godzilla movie, monsters can get out of that easily. So, all the rock falls off, the rest of it, and out comes this big metal ship here. And this actually brings me to an effects con I actually have with this ship here. When the ship takes off after all the rock falls off of it, the water that comes off the bottom of it, it looks like it just appears out of nowhere. It just looks really... It just... I don't know. I mean, did it have to be all CG when it first comes? I mean, I know there's a prop. I know they built a prop because on the DVD there's behind the scenes on. There's a little bit of behind the scenes on there. But the water coming off the ship, off the CG ship, it just didn't look right. It would have been better if they did a close-up of the prop and then switched it to the CGI version, which is in this screenshot here before flying away. And the thing is that there's those helicopters flying next to it. It knocks all the helicopters out of the sky. Like, this weird energy thing comes out and blows up two of the helicopters, and then the other one then the last helicopter rams into it and doesn't leave a scratch on this ship. I don't know what metal this thing's made out of, but holy crap. Whatever alien race built this must know a great deal of defense, because this thing tries to get blown up. The humans do everything they can to destroy this thing. They blow it up with these new bombs right under it when it goes on top of this building for literally almost like 10, 11 minutes of the movie. And it tries to get blown up. It gets scratched by one of the helicopters after that little thing blows up, and there's no scratch on this ship at all. Not a single dent, scratch, nothing. Whatever metal this ship is made out of, whatever the alien race is that built this thing, they knew the definition of air defense, aerial defense or aerial assault. I mean, seriously. And it's just so crazy, like, when it's flying over Tokyo, it always looks it's all CGI, but it's actually pretty good CG, in all honesty. Oh, and here we go. This is towards the end of the movie when Godzilla shows up out of Tokyo Bay with the original theme song playing, which they did such a great job of. I know I don't talk about music so much, and I know this is only an effects bit, but only an effects series, but still, there's some points about these movies you have to talk about. Why? Because it's awesome. And here we go. This is right when Godzilla comes up to the alien ship at the very end, the last 25 minutes of the movie, and the alien ship makes like these cables come out of the ground and entangle Godzilla, and then it literally drags him around and smashes him into all these buildings. It's a great little scene. It's actually a great scene. And then the ship comes off the building and starts shooting at Godzilla and rams into him. You know, he kind of has a good fight with this thing. And I'll tell you this now, the miniature sets, they look way better than the Heisei era. I'm going to say that right here, right now. Especially this building off to the left of the shot. It has such great detailing on it. They literally, like I said, they put a lot of time and a lot of effort into it. They did a great job with this movie. This is why this used to be my #1 Godzilla movie when I was growing up, because everything about this is just amazing. Truly amazing. And then after that, I think I'll talk about the alien creature that comes out of the ship after, and this thing does, I don't know what it is with this ship. It does everything it can to like subdue Godzilla or whatever, because like I said, it does the wires coming out of the street. It starts throwing them around, and then it knocks buildings on top. It knocks buildings on top of him, trying to subdue him. It's like, oh my god! It's literally the ship beats the crap out of Godzilla here for the first round of the final fight. Like, seriously, Godzilla ends up he gets his ass handed to him. He really does in this movie. And the miniature sets getting destroyed, they're amazing. I mean, this final battle is really worth the watch. It really is. I know I just keep on praising this movie so much, but this was such a great Godzilla movie. When it comes to, here's actually another effects con. Well, actually, before I start talking about this ugly thing, let me talk about my fourth effects con that I have with this movie. When Godzilla, remember when I said that the humans tried blowing up the alien ship and it doesn't work? Well, apparently, when Godzilla shoots at it, it destroys the ship. So, giant monster movie rules, I guess. So, there's this bit where Godzilla blows up like half the ship, and there's a piece of debris that comes flying at the human characters who are watching this whole thing happen. Standing on the roof of this building, watching this fight, and this piece of debris just comes flying at him, and it would have been better if it was CG instead of a prop, because it looks like it looks too convenient. It looks like it moves too conveniently towards the people just to add a little danger, I guess. But it would have been better if it was CG and it just hit the building or something and not like directly behind them. So yeah, that's my next effects comment with this movie. So, and then here we have a lot of the CGI, and literally the alien Orga, yes, Orga, Orga, exactly how the name sounds. That's literally the name of this monster. It says it in the credits. And this thing was all CGI. And literally what I'm going to actually explain here is, and this is going to cover most of the final fight and everything, so that's fine. What Orga does, actually, let me explain this little tidbit about Godzilla before I talk about Orga here. Well, actually, this thing right here is not Orga. I found out the name of this first stage of the alien is called Millennian. Millennian. I'm not kidding. I literally saw that this the tree with a saucer head has a name. Yeah, weird, right? But it was all CGI, and it's old-time CG. So it's like, I don't know. It's really old-time CGI, and it's Japan trying to use it, and they really do try. And okay, before I start talking about Orga, let me talk about this little tidbit with Godzilla here. They literally, okay, remember in one of the reviews back in, I want to say season 1, I believe, when I said that the reason why the army can't ever kill Godzilla is because he is a walking nuke, and when a nuclear bomb goes off, you can't stop it. Well, oh, and here we get a great shot of Godzilla's atomic breath when he shoots at the alien ship. Well, there you go, folks. Anyways, well, in this movie, they literally explain why Damn, sorry. They literally explain in this movie why Godzilla is so indestructible, and they literally say this. This was after the shootout with the military, like a while back, and one of the main one of the human characters, he picks up a piece of Godzilla. He literally has one of Godzilla's scales in this glass jar, filled with like water, I think, and he shows like this hospital scan of it, and shows like the first part shows scar damage, and then the second time he takes the photo is completely clear. So the piece of skin healed, which is really weird, but it's Godzilla, you can't question it. They literally explain that Godzilla has this thing in his body. It's not an organ, but it's this something deep in his cells or something, somewhere in his body, called Regenerator G1. And what it does is, after Godzilla in a fight, whether it's with the military or with another monster here, the Regenerator G1 thing kicks in and heals his whole body. It heals his entire body to where he's got not a single scratch on him. And in all perfect honesty, I really love that they explain that, because all this time you were wondering, okay, he has been shot at, blown up, taken damage to his face, he's been cut open, been blown up from the inside. It's like, how are you not dead? So I'm happy that they explained that they actually did give an explanation for that. And then the monster Orga that he fights in this movie, basically what this thing does is to adapt to our atmosphere here on Earth. Orga basically takes on Godzilla's cell structure to adapt to Earth's atmosphere. And in all honesty, I think this alien is a shapeshifter because when it turns into Orga, when it goes from the Millennian to Orga, oh, here's Orga. You literally look at this thing. If you really look at it, it kinda looks like Godzilla just a little bit, especially in his face. Yeah. I mean, I love the design of the suit. This suit was really good. But the limited arm movement, the bulkiness kind of reminds me of Space Godzilla and Destroyer a little bit, actually. But the suit did have some fighting capability because he punches Godzilla, beats him up, everything. And literally, this monster he gets a sample of Regenerator G1, and he uses that to adapt to our planet's atmosphere. Now, in all honesty, that's cool that they came up with a monster that can do that, because wherever this thing came from, apparently he can't breathe our air. Or is this even his true form? Because throughout the final fight, he tries so hard to become Godzilla. It literally, there's this bit during the fight, and there's a hole in his shoulder that is not from Godzilla. That is actually like, he can shoot plasma. He can shoot energy out of that. That's it's like the equivalent to Predator's shoulder cannon, except this, for Orga, it's biological. So yeah, that's exactly how it is. It's the biological equivalent to Predator's shoulder gun, the plasma caster. Anyways, there's this funny bit during the final fight, actually, that's kind of very reminiscent of King Kong vs. Godzilla. There's a point where Godzilla literally trips Orga with his tail to get him on the ground, and then Orga tries to get up, and Godzilla keeps hitting him in the face with his tail. So it's it was a nice little funny moment, but the amazing, intense J. Peter Robinson music tried to make it like, that's not fun. This ain't funny at all. Literally, like I said at the very start of this video, when the narrator in the trailer said "winner takes all," they really mean winner. The movie really means winner takes all. Because Godzilla and Orga, and then at first it's Godzilla and the ship, it's literally a death battle for control of the Earth, because literally Orga, being a shape-shifting alien, I mean, my theory is that Millennian is Orga's real form. Like, apparently the aliens look like that, whatever the species is, and then whatever creature it picks to adapt to Earth's atmosphere, it kind of mimics that a little bit. And so here we got a nice great shot of Godzilla, and a nice great shot of the suit detail. Seriously, really amazing shot of him here. I mean, this is wallpaper worthy, actually. Anyways, so yeah, there's this whole little the science behind these the two Titanic creatures in this movie. I really do like it. It's simple and very easily understandable, truly. And then this whole final fight is just these two, Godzilla and Orga. They literally. Oh, sorry about that. I'm stopping in mid-sentence. Oh, sorry about that, folks. There's one thing Godzilla does to Orga that he never does in a fight. He struck first. Like, Godzilla literally headbutts Orga, then scratches his head with his claws, but then Orga comes back and literally punches Godzilla right in the face. I mean, these two literally, it's a serious, like, the fight is a serious death match, and there's this bit where Orga tries to become Godzilla, because there's a scene where while Orga was on the ground, Godzilla bites his arm. And then Orga manages to shove Godzilla off, but then Orga comes and bites Godzilla's arm. And it's the arm that's showing in this screenshot, actually, the one that's really showing, with all four fingers showing. Orga bites that arm, and you can literally see Orga's body start to change. The scaling starts to change into Godzilla scales, and the color starts to change to green, which is Godzilla's color in this movie. He's actually green. I'm not kidding. Sorry. If you heard that, I burped again. Anyways, like, he tries to become a Godzilla clone. And it's so crazy how it's like with these movies. It's first you have in the Heisei era you have Biollante, Mechagodzilla, Space Godzilla, now Orga. It's like I guess Godzilla's that powerful that if you have his body type, you're a badass. Like every alien, like every other creature apparently thinks that. Like, if you can have Godzilla's body type, you will become a complete badass. But we all know there's no one more badass than the real Godzilla. And and actually, what's crazy is Orga takes Regenerator G1, and I guess his body became more advanced than Godzilla's, because when Godzilla shoots him with his atomic breath, you literally see pieces of Orga or chunks of him come off. See, here's a great shot of Orga's face. I love the detailing, and it kind of reminds me of the alien from Super 8. I don't know why, but it's like Godzilla mixed with the alien from Super 8 because of the face. Because when you're looking at it, I know this is a side view. Well, this is actually a 3/4 view. But the face, it so reminds me of the creature from Super 8 mixed with Godzilla, in all honesty. And I love his roar. He has a deep roar. I like that. It's more like a growl, but seriously, I love the roar. Fits him, actually. Has a deep, very growl kind of roar. And anyways, like I said, like I was did finish a little sec ago. And I love the effect that they do with Orga, actually, when Godzilla, like I was saying, when Godzilla blasts pieces of Orga off. I mean, literally, you see chunks of this creature come flying off. Orga quickly heals himself. I mean, you literally see the parts of Orga that got injured, they regenerate right on the spot. So, I guess Orga, he takes Regenerator G1 and his body makes it act quicker than Godzilla's, maybe. But I don't know. It was very interesting how what the dialogue implies and what is shown during the monster battle. It's insane, and you literally just see these two. They just punch and scratch and bite. Shoot each other. It's a great monster battle. It really is. It's a monster battle that is always worth watching. Like I said, I really love this movie. This always my number 4 on my list of top 7 Godzilla films. I mean, seriously, this movie's just nuts with the special effects. I can't remember who did the special effects. It sucks I didn't write his name down. And the monster Orga, actually, he was played by Makoto Itu, sorry. And I love his performance. I love Itu's performance as Orga. He really makes him like this alien trying to, with determination. I mean, both of the monsters, they have determination. Like, Orga is trying to get rid of Godzilla by trying to turn into him, and Godzilla just wants to kill him. Because you know how it is with Godzilla, you even shoot at him, he's gonna kill you. That's how Godzilla operates. If you attack him, you're dead. Oh, this shot here. This is a really great shot in the film during the final monster. Literally, the final monster battle, it's long, but it's great to watch. Like the monster battle from Destroy All Monsters, it's great. It's a great scene to watch. And this is the scene where Godzilla literally shoots his atomic breath directly at Orga's face. And there's this big explosion and this tower of fire, and Godzilla. This screenshot here is when Godzilla just growls at it. and stands there for a minute. And then you see Orga walk out of the flames, and he's all burnt. His face is all burnt up, and there's a really long piece of his flesh hanging off. But then there comes to a wide-angle shot, and Orga heals himself up good as new. So, I mean, the Regenerator G1 thing is just Orga, like I said, Orga just takes it to the extreme. But the whole fire scene, I don't know, Godzilla just has this thing with fire. All the shots of Godzilla surrounded by fire in this movie are so cool. They're literally, it's wallpaper worthy. Anybody who has a laptop, it's worthy of this whole movie is wallpaper worthy. I mean, dead serious. And it's just so, and Godzilla's growls, I love his, and in all honesty, I just now realized this. If you look at his face right here, is it me? I just now saw that. I didn't realize this while watching the movie. Is it me, or does Godzilla's face look like 1954's face? Look really close at that. Look really, really close at this face. Doesn't it look like 1954? Oh my god. I just now saw that. Folks, I'm not kidding. I just now realized that. His face looks like 1954's face, but like with an update. With the design update. Wow. Huh. Okay, I just now realized that, actually. I just now realized that. Holy crap, I literally just now realized that design choice. But anyway, I'm sorry, I just literally came to that realization here when it comes to the screenshot. And once again, you see Godzilla have his little pointy ears on the sides of his head. Oh man, yeah, it's. Oh my god. Oh god. Oh, this scene. Okay, this is a crazy bit because literally, Orga's mouth. Okay, and that flap in his mouth was all CGI. You can tell by looking at that shot that it was all completely CG. Okay, and that would be my girlfriend Akio Yuichi texting me. I'll put the link to her channel in the description below. Anyways, sorry. And anyways, like this shot here, I mean, okay, you know how snakes are able to open their bottom jaw wider so they can swallow stuff that's bigger than they are? Well, Orga does that. And literally, Godzilla just walks in. Even Godzilla, he does like, what the like, literally, he jerks his head up like, whoa. Like, whoa, what the hell? Like, seriously, it was very, it's just so crazy. Like, Orga just opens his mouth and then this flap comes up from the back of his throat. It's really weird. It's just, wow. And literally, Godzilla just walks right in after a close-up of his face for a few seconds, and then like I said, he just walks right into this. And then you literally see Orga start to turn into Godzilla. Like, you see the little speck of green on the top of his head. You literally see, like, his whole head starts to change, and you see back plates start coming out of Orga's back. Literally, Orga tries so hard to turn into Godzilla. He really does. But then Godzilla does this thing where his whole body just lights up orange, and I called the move the nuclear blast, because Godzilla not only blows up the top half of Orga's body to where there's no head, he literally destroys a whole other section of the city by blowing Orga up from the inside out. It's crazy. And then you have just Godzilla standing there in the flames, and there's this really cool shot of Godzilla's back plates, or his spikes, dorsal spikes. I'm calling them that because they don't look like plates anymore in this movie. Where, anyways, there's this cool scene like through the fire right after Godzilla blows Orga up. Through the flames, they have Godzilla's back spines, that dorsal spikes, and they start to flash. They start glowing like it was a discharge or something. It just looks really cool because it's in silhouette. And then you... Okay, let me just get back to the poster here. Okay, after listening to me talk for this long, I'm telling you this now, Godzilla 2000, Toho brought Godzilla back and did it in an amazing way. And like I said, it's like and I can't believe we made it to the 3rd season. We made it to season 3, so yeah. Well, so yeah. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, I'll recommend this to any diehard Godzilla fan. And because of... Oh, sure, I didn't mention my last effects con. My last effects con with this movie is, when Orga decomposes, it looks too CGI. They could have used, like, they didn't have to add CGI to the prop. They could have just, took it apart, you know? They didn't have to use CGI for Orga, decomposing. So anyways, those are my thoughts. And my score for this movie, a 9 out of 10. Alright, I hope you subscribe to Megas Dragon. He made the awesome new Season 3 logo, and I'll have his link in the description, and Movie Reviews Library, and my girlfriend Akio Yuichi's description. Link in the description below. Alright, see you next week, everybody. Take it easy, folks.